Okay, right then, next pattern is Hwarang. This pattern is for a second cup, so that's when you're a red stripe going on to be red belt. Okay, first we'll start with the interpretation of the pattern. So Hwarang has 29 movements. It's named after the Hwarang youth group who originated in the Silla dynasty about 350 years ago. This group eventually became an actual driving force for the unification of the three kingdoms of Korea. The 29 movements in this pattern refer to the 29th Infantry Division, where Taekwondo developed maturity. Right, let's go on to the first movement. So we've done close ready stance A, and we've done close ready stance B. Close ready stance C, this is how we start Hwarang. Feet close together, close stance. Right hand flat in front of the body, straight on. Not touching though, in front of away. Left hand on the top, and this is important, I'm going to come right in here. When you do this, these three fingers are covered by those three, and your little fingers are away, so you don't cross these over. And that's important, because when I told you about the interpretation of this pattern, I talked about the three kingdoms of Korea. These three fingers represent the three kingdoms of Korea. So that's your start ready stance C. That's the first thing you're going to do in this pattern. Not as many new moves as are in Toige and Hwarang, so we should be able to get on with this pretty quick. First move, middle section upset punch. Okay, so in fact no. First move is thinking about it is your middle section pushing block. It looks like a palm heel. So you can just perform it like a palm heel. But in this instance, what they're describing it as, your hand, so start with your fingers pointing down, so your fingers are pointing upwards, reaction arm goes onto the hip. But they're classing it as somebody in front of you just pushing them away. Very much like a palm heel strike would be, but it's a sitting stance. Next one, upset punch. Boxer, do uppercut punch. We can't do uppercut punches in sparring, but we can do them in patterns. We call them an upset punch. There's upset punch there, which are low section, and then there are middle section ones. And this would be designed to go into the sternum and the body. So your reverse arm comes up and under there. Your front arm comes onto the shoulder. One for reaction force, two, I've got this geezer here, I'm going to pull him into me, I'm going to hit him right into the sternum or the solar plexus. That's upset punch. Downward, vertical stance first. So, really easy. Whichever leg's at the front, your toes point that way. So I've got to do it this way, and your back toes point either at 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock. That's your foot position. There. So I'll come back a bit. It's as easy as that. So that is, because my left foot's pointing that way, a left leg vertical stance, and of course my right foot's pointing that way, so I'm travelling that way. That's a right leg foot vertical stance. Okay, so that's vertical stance. It's just a high balanced position to perform a downward strike. Next one would be a downward knife hand strike. So imagine a windmill. That's the way your arm's going to travel to gain momentum. It's a circular motion. Then you finish your arm in line with your shoulder. And the main target area would probably be the collarbone for this technique, unless they're leaning forwards, and it would be the back of the neck. The other arm, reaction arm, does the same to give the technique balance or equilibrium. So it's there to there, and this hand coming at the back hip. That's the motion of the strike. And we add body mass. It's actually performed in that earlier stance, vertical stance. And you stamp the heels down as the arm drops. So up on your toes, stamp the heels down. Downward knife hand strike. Turning kick, we all know that one. I'm sure you've done this one already. But turning kick technically starts with the chamber. So the heel, nice and tight into the back of the hamstring, and then taking the leg nice and straight to the side. Don't have your foot angled up. That foot has got to be turned over there. Again, it's hard, and striking with the ball of the foot, not the top opposite, the top of your foot. Okay. They're looking for that ball of foot particularly. You wouldn't strike with your toes. If you've ever done destruction on breaking boards, you do a turning kick, you've got to hit with the ball of the foot, and the same within this pattern. So turning kick, and finally back elbow. Again, in this instance, performed in an L stance, arm travels back straight. Thumb on the top, little finger on the bottom there to get the arm in the optimum position, nice and tight in there. The reaction arm, you don't pull your hand back, it just does the same and comes to the front of your body. And your arms should finish in 90 degrees. That's how your arms are travelling there, to there, to there. Okay? So that's back elbow strike. And I think that's all the new moves we have in Hwoarang. I actually really like this pattern. Okay, right, let's go into it then. So, close ready stance C, left hand on the top of right hand, 3 on 3. Go to your left in seated stance. Palm heel pushing block. Central of your body. Keep those knees bent. Double punch. Bring your right leg in, cross your arms, and out in L stance, twin forearm block. Bring the right hand to the left shoulder and circle the left arm up, upset punch. Now draw your right leg back, extend the left arm for reaction force, back out to L stance, side punch with a little slide. And then bring your right leg back to vertical stance, striking to the right, downward knife hand strike. Take your left leg forwards, middle punch. Quarter turn to your left, walking stance, low block. Step forwards, middle section punch. Bring your left leg up to your right leg and grab onto your wrist with your left hand. Snatch your arm away to release technique, and at the same time, side kick, finish with an L stance, middle section, knife hand strike. Coming forwards twice, I'm going to shuffle back so you can see me in view. 1, 2, walking stance punches. Pivot on the right foot, 3/4 turn. Knife hand guarding block. Bring your left hand down, middle section, fingertip thrust in walking stance. Step across with the right leg and draw the left leg back and take it out to L stance. Knife hand guarding block. Now 2 nice high turning kicks off the back leg each time. 1, 2, knife hand guarding block. Quarter turn to your left, pivot on your right leg into walking stance. Low section block. Lift the left arm up and move across to L stance at the same time, doing a right reverse punch. Keep your right arm out as you travel forward and go into L stance, do a left reverse punch. And repeat the process again, punching with the right arm. Twist away and twist back to walking stance, X pressing block. Bring the right leg up to the left leg, taking the right leg back through into L stance, and the right leg has 70% of the weight on. Back elbow strike. Draw the left leg back to close stance, 3/4 turn to your left, so you're facing that direction. With your right arm, you do a middle block, and with your left arm, you do a low block. And then you stamp your heels, in close stance again, and switch the arms. Take the left leg forwards into L stance, knife hand guarding block, foot to foot and going to the right. Knife hand guarding block. Your kia, that's your training how to move. Bring the right leg back, the close ready stance C. That last move there, that middle block, low block. Most common mistake I see people make is they have their arms too close to the body. It's like tight. If I was in walking stance, doing a middle block or a low block, look at the angle of my arm, about 45 degrees. So it's exactly the same. Keep these arms here, not here. I see this done all the while, the arms coming back here. Keep those arms away. So Hwoarang, I'm back turn, and I'll do the pattern again for you. The in arm time. Sugya. Kia!